I'm Jared Haynes, and this is Rogue Outdoors. Today I want to talk to you about the Aziak Bino clamp. So this Bino clamp is going to run you about $40 once you get it shipped to you, and it's going to be virtually weightless in your hunting pack. So this will just attach straight to the binocular tube. So we'll bring the binoculars up, and it's just going to stretch right over top of the binocular, and it's now on there. Then there's a hole here on the side where you'll just add a screw, and that will secure the bracket on. On the bottom of it, you have an Arca-Swiss shape that allows this to be slid. Let me pop it back off the binoculars here so you can see. Slid right onto your tripod head. Now I'm using a Sirui VA5 head. On these, I've found it took a couple days to break in the little grooves on the plastic, so it comes with a very, very tight tolerance. And so after using it for a few days, and this is months old now, it slips in no problem. You click your little button here on the back, which is going to work the brass pin that's down here on the bottom of the head. When you push that in, that will drop that head down, or that pin, excuse me, and that will take the hole that's on the bottom of this Bino clamp and lock it in place. So we're gonna slip it in here, press that down. It's now locked in place, and as you can see, I'm putting a lot of pressure on this forwards and backwards, and the Bino clamp is not going anywhere, which is really important because when you're using a pair of binoculars that cost you a decent amount of money, these are some Swarovski ELs, or any other pair, you definitely don't want them to fall off while you're glassing, or if you're looking, downhill at a steep angle and your binocular slides off and breaks out in the field, you're now done for the rest of your hunt without a pair of binoculars. So it's really important that it locks in good, and the Aziak definitely does. Now, what I was previously using was the Outdoorsman's Bino clamp. Now, the Bino hand here worked good. It's universal, so it'll fit onto any pair of binoculars. However, it's really, really heavy compared to the Aziak, which is, like I said, it's just a piece of plastic. It weighs almost nothing. This is machined aluminum all through here. Then you have to add whatever mounting bracket you want to the bottom. Now I have the Outdoorsman's specific one on here right now, but when I use the Sirui tripod head, which is Arca-Swiss, I then have to add an Arca-Swiss mounting plate to this, which makes it just that much bigger, bulkier, and heavier of a setup. And on top of that, this one is noisy. Now, that hasn't been a deal breaker. I've used it for killing my deer last year, but it's a rifle hunting rig, in my opinion, not something you're gonna use up close like bow hunting, things like that, because of that noise. Now, there are some other types. A lot of people use the stud adapters on binoculars that hook to like the front bridge or whatever. But with those, the thing that I've found is a pain in the butt, and this will eliminate that, is you have to have some other piece that mounts to the tripod head. So you've got the stud on there, and then you're running your clamp or your arm, whatever, on here, and that can be a problem because now you've got an additional piece of equipment that either has to be on here or in your gear bag, and you don't want to lose it. You have to remember to pack it. This, once you set it on your binoculars the first time, you just forget about it. It's on there. It doesn't affect the way that it fits into your Bino harness if you wear a Bino harness. I've tried this in the Stone Glacier Bino harness. I've tried this in the Alaskan Guide Creations, and I've tried it in the Sitka Mountain Optics harness. And all three of those, this did not change the fit with my binoculars. And the Swarovski ELs are kind of in that mid-ground of being on a little bit on the larger side. So a lot of those Bino harnesses, these fit fairly tight into. And so this, if it made any difference to the bulk, would have definitely affected how well those fit in there. And I had no issues. So I wanted to make this review to say if you're looking for or have not used a Bino clamp before to hook your binoculars to a tripod, you should definitely try it because it makes a huge difference when it comes to your steadiness and ability to grid search and break down a hillside as you're glassing. And this is a very cheap way to get into it. You're talking about $40, which is very, very little investment. It's almost no weight added to your equipment list and pack. It's a piece of gear that once it's on the binoculars, you don't have to worry about packing it and bringing it along on the trip and, accidentally forgetting it. And if you don't end up using it, it's not something that you're going to regret having had on the binoculars. And that's another big key piece that I think people overlook is a lot of times you overpack gear, and this is not something that if you don't use it, you're going to regret having because it slowed you down, it weighed you down, anything like that. This is an awesome piece of equipment that whether you use it on that particular hunt or that outing or not, you'll be glad to have had it on there and had the option to use it. So I hope you like this quick review of the Aziak Bino clamp. It's definitely something I recommend and I would check out on their website. If you did like the video, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel for more content like this coming out soon. Thank you for watching.